1,312 feet beneath the Coral Sea, a French marine biologist just pulled something impossible from the depths. Something that died 60 million years ago. Something that shouldn't exist. But there it was, alive, breathing, hunting in the darkness. A ghost from the age of dinosaurs. And it's not alone. Right now, as you're watching this, creatures that predate your wildest imagination are walking among us, swimming in our oceans, growing in our backyards, living, breathing time machines that have cheated death itself for hundreds of millions of years. The horseshoe crab scuttling across your local beach, it's older than trees. The Ginkgo tree in your neighborhood park, it watched the dinosaurs rise and fall. That weird-looking fish at the aquarium, it was supposed to go extinct before humans even existed. These aren't just old species. They're biological impossibilities. Creatures that have found a way to stop time itself. But here's what's terrifying scientists worldwide. We're just now discovering how many of these living fossils actually exist. And some of the recent discoveries, they're rewriting everything we thought we knew about life on Earth. Philippe Boucher thought he was having a normal day of deep-sea research. Then he hauled up something that made his blood run cold. Massive eyes, reddish spots. He was staring at Neoglyphea neocaledonica, a creature that vanished when the asteroid killed the dinosaurs. Except it didn't vanish. It just waited. For 60 million years, this thing has been down there, unchanged, unevolving, as if someone hit the pause button on its entire existence. But wait, it gets stranger. Evolution is supposed to be relentless, constant change, adapt or die. Yet somehow, these creatures found a third option. Don't change at all. Scientists call it evolutionary stasis, and it shouldn't be possible. These living fossils have DNA repair systems so perfect, so efficient, that genetic mutations, the very fuel of evolution, get corrected before they can take hold. Imagine having a proofreader so good that your rough draft stays perfect for 500 million years. That's essentially what these creatures have achieved. The horseshoe crab you might see at the beach, its ancestors were crawling across ocean floors when the continents were still puzzle pieces in completely different positions. When the only life on land were bacteria and hope. And if you think that's mind-blowing, wait until you hear about the Tuatara. This lizard-looking creature from New Zealand isn't just a living fossil. Recent research revealed something that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. The Tuatara isn't frozen in time. It's the sole survivor of an entire lost world. During the age of dinosaurs, there were hundreds of Tuatara-like species, an entire ecosystem of reptilian forms that dominated their environments. But when the asteroid hit, they all died. All except one. The Tuatara isn't just old. It's carrying the genetic memory of an entire vanished civilization of reptiles. It's like finding the last speaker of a language that died out millions of years ago. But here's where this story takes a turn that might keep you up at night. If these creatures can survive virtually unchanged for hundreds of millions of years, what else is out there? What other biological time capsules are waiting in the unexplored corners of our planet? The deep ocean covers 95% of our planet's living space, and we've explored less than 5% of it. That's billions of cubic miles of darkness where anything could be hiding. Scientists are starting to suspect that what we found with Neoglyphea neocaledonica isn't a fluke. It's a preview, a hint that the deep ocean might be full of creatures we thought were extinct. Imagine if we started pulling up plesiosaurs from the deep trenches, creatures that swam alongside dinosaurs just waiting down there in the dark. Sounds like science fiction, right? But so did finding a 60 million year old extinct crustacean until we actually did it. And it's not just the ocean. Remote islands across the globe are serving as biological time capsules. The Socotra archipelago, for instance, is like a museum of ancient life forms. Isolated for millions of years, these islands preserve species that vanished everywhere else. When animals reach these isolated land masses, they enter a kind of evolutionary sanctuary. No predators to worry about, no competition for resources, no pressure to change. So they don't. They just persist for millions of years, unchanged, waiting. Let me put this in perspective for you. While your ancestors were learning to walk upright, then discovering fire, then building pyramids, then splitting atoms, then sending rockets to space, these creatures were doing the exact same thing they've always done. The coelacanth fish was supposed to be extinct for 66 million years. Then in 1938, a South African fisherman pulled one up in his nets. Scientists thought it was a hoax. How could something that old still be alive? But there it was, 6 feet long, covered in thick scales, with lobed fins that looked like they belonged on a creature transitioning from sea to land. A living, breathing fossil that had been quietly swimming in the depths while humanity rose and fell and rose again. And that's just the beginning. The Nautilus, with its spiral shell, has been cruising through ocean waters for 500 million years. The Ginkgo tree has been dropping its fan-shaped leaves for 270 million years. These aren't just old species. They're biological constants in a world of endless change. But here's what's really keeping scientists awake at night. If these creatures can remain unchanged for hundreds of millions of years, what does that tell us about evolution itself? Maybe evolution isn't the relentless force we thought it was. Maybe it has an off switch. Maybe under the right conditions, life can simply... And if that's true, what other rules about life and death might we have gotten wrong? The discovery of Neoglyphea neocaledonica opened a door to a possibility that's both wonderful and terrifying. If one extinct lineage can survive 60 million years in the deep ocean, what else is down there? The next time you walk along a beach and see a horseshoe crab, remember, you're looking at a design so perfect it hasn't needed to change in 450 million years. You're witnessing biological immorality. And somewhere in the darkness of the deep ocean, other impossible creatures are waiting to be discovered. Survivors from worlds we thought were lost forever. The question isn't whether we'll find more living fossils. The question is, what will they tell us about the nature of life, death, and time itself? Because if these creatures have taught us anything, it's that the rules we thought governed life on Earth might be more flexible than we ever imagined. And that's a thought that changes everything. And speaking of things that shouldn't exist, if you think 60 million-year-old creatures are terrifying, wait until you see what else is lurking in the depths of our oceans. Things that will make these living fossils look like harmless pets. Click on the screen right now to watch it, because after learning about creatures that can stop time, you need to see what else is hiding where we can't find it.